Autobots, transform!
What's up, Transformer fans? Welcome to George Reviews. I am the 80s Transformer fan, and today I will be reviewing the final Minibot, the most famous Minibot of them all, and the most mysterious Minibot of them all. And he's famous and not so well known at the same time. If you know who he is and what he is, then it's like, wow. And if you don't, it's like, who is this guy? But in 1984, you can find this Transformer packaged on Bumblebee's card and on Cliff Jumper's card, but he didn't have his own identity or character bio written for him, and the fans dubbed this guy over the years as Bumble Jumper. Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper, obviously, and then his name is Bumper for short. And I really think that's so appropriate, and I think it fits. You know, Bumper is a very cool name, and it seemed like he would have actually got that name from those guys, you know? And there's a little bit more going on with this guy than these two, but I'll get to that. But this guy himself is the most rare and most expensive of all the Minibots. He commands the most money on the secondhand market. Well, let me rewind a little bit to tell you about his origins. He is based on a penny racers from Takara's micro change line. And I'm not exactly sure what type of real life car he's based on. And I'm sure he's based on a real life car, but I don't know it right now. Maybe it'll come to me. But and Takara, the penny racer, this figure came in multiple colors, and the more colors you go through, the more his price goes up. This guy easily goes for over $100 loose in this condition, easily 100 and up. And if you start getting into the blues and the reds and the white, his price is through the roof. This is the most famous and sought after Minibot of them all. And if you sitting there and you never knew who it was or never seen this guy, this is the most sought after one of them all, I'm telling you. And if you're looking for one in good condition, you're going to be out at least $100 on a good day. And so anyway, fast forward, Hasbro got the licensing for Transformers, and they became Transformers, and he became a car in the Minibot line. A lot of people say that it was a mistake when they wrote the bios, and they assumed that this guy was this guy, and they had already written a bio for him as Cliff Jumper, and he just got left over. But these three Minibots in the front never got their own identity. He just simply became red Bumblebee and yellow Cliff Jumper. It was just an option when you can buy them. They never appeared on the cartoon in these colors, and he never appeared at all. And they say it was just a mistake that he was left out. But he was carded and packaged, and you can buy this guy in stores in 1984 and 85. Later on, he could be found with the rub symbol, which is a little bit less than the one with the Autobot symbol. Pre-rub is what they call it. And man, like I said, you're looking at $100 and up for Bumble Jumper. Let's take a look at his vehicle mode. You can see his headlights and grill and bumper is a separate molded plastic, which separates him from most of these guys, even Bumblebee. Bumblebee bumper is molded, but not the lights. I mean, molded in a separate plastic piece, but the lights are just part of his hood. But they went as far as to mold the entire lights on the front of this car. He has an indentation right here on the top of the hood, some molded in vents. You can see the mirrors on either side of the car. Turn to the side of the car. His big old tires with Dunlop. I got a little nick in my tire. Man, that sucks. It's funny what you notice when you do a toy review. Dunlop on both of his tires. The back bumper is painted black. It's not a separate piece. The little hatch that houses his head looks a lot like Cliff Jumper's. Matter of fact, it is identical to my naked eye. I don't know how it's coming across on camera as Cliff Jumper's. So they did not change that at all. And of course, he shares the same tires. And on this side, I didn't see it on the other side, but you can see a molded in door handle. Just there, if I get the light to hit it right, like right there. Molded in door handle, which is cool. So they put a little detail into this little guy. And the black windows are a separate plastic underneath the yellow. And you can see through the back right here, my finger. So that is Bumble Jumper in his vehicle mode. And he rolls very well. Again, he was based on a penny racer. In the penny racer line, he was spring loaded. And you would pull him back. Not this guy, but the penny racer. You would pull him back and they would take off and do stunts. If you heard that 1,000 times because you watched all my videos, but this might be someone's first, so please bear with us. And so that is him in his robot mode. Oh, I forgot to tell you, underneath he has a die cast portion right here, and this little screw and circle is meant to simulate a spare tire underneath. And if I turn it sideways right here, you can see some Asian writing at the top. Then it says Takara Co. Ltd. 1980 to 1984 Japan underneath. You can see his hands underneath, his fingers and his thumb holding on to the tires, some screws. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to his transformation. I'm going to slot his legs out right here and then fold them forward right there. Slide his arms out and pop his head up. It's been popping up the whole time and it's pretty loose. And we're going to take a look at his face. His face is unique. He has his own face. He does not look like Bumblebee at all. He does not look like Cliff Jumper at all. Has a humanoid face with giant goggles. Too bad they're unpainted. Over there he has a large nose and almost a smile on his face. A little divot in his chin. He has some designs on his helmet portion. A lot of nice detail right there. Backing him up, let's set him down. The arms on mine are real loose, but this was a common issue on these guys. You either got a good one or a bad one. I mean, this guy isn't in playwood condition, and unfortunately, he's just loose. Now, he was given his own spotlight in the early 2000s. I think it was 2002 to 2004 Dreamwave comics that brought life and tried to reintroduce the original G1 continuity and give backstory to all the guys who never had them. And he was the leader of the Minibots in that story. It was a nice little story arc while I was running. Dreamwave comics was awesome until they, I guess they mismanaged their funds, but then they wound up going out of business. And IDW tried to take over and kind of pick up where they left off. So if you read IDW, it originally came from the Dreamwave comics, which was awesome. But he finally had got his own spotlight. And Bumper / Bumble Jumper, I don't know which one I like. I like saying Bumble Jumper, and Bumper sounds totally awesome too. You know, I really do. But if you were like me, like I said, I passed over this guy so many times as a kid because he just wasn't on a cartoon, and I was slave to that notion that I didn't know who he was, so I didn't want him. Maybe if he had been identified, at least on the back of the card, that he was a different character, I might have got him. But it was just like, huh? It was some type of mistake? I'm like, what is it? What's going on with this? And if I was smart, I would just grab them then. Not saying it would have survived to this day, but just to have one more character to play with. Because he's totally different. He's not like Hubcap. He's not like Yellow Cliff Jumper. And he's not like Yellow Bumblebee. Let's get these guys a little bit closer. Let's look at their heads / helmets. I mean, he looks nothing. There's nothing shared on the head with Bumblebee. And there's absolutely nothing shared on the head with Cliff Jumper. Man, I wish I grabbed this guy a long time ago. I actually picked him up at a BotCon, I'm going to say in 2012. I think it was, and I paid exactly $100 even. The guy originally had him like priced for $130, and I bought him on like the last day, and the guy was like, "Give me $100." And I paid $100 for this little guy. And you know, I was filling out my collection. You know, not saying people should go out and pay $100 and up, but if you get them for any less than that, you really got lucky. Really did, and especially in good condition like mine. I know the arms are a little loose, but that's fine. You know, I could tighten them up, but I really have no need. I pretty much display them in this car mode. So anyway, speaking of purchasing this guy, if you are in the market for one, you want to watch out for chrome wear to the head, some silver paint wear to the face, and loose arms. But that's an easy fix. I just don't care to do it. You want to watch out for cracks on these window lines here. They're like hairline cracks, but you need to check that out. And you want to watch out for cracks on the little part that transforms over the feet, because this eventually wears them down and will stress and crack these pieces. He's not utilizing a lot of chrome, just the chrome around the head and the rims. You want to watch out for that. And you want to watch out for rust on the pins and maybe the screw. But that is about it. I'm not sure if this guy has a KO. If he has a KO, I haven't seen it. So he may have one, but I don't think he has a KO. In other countries that release this guy, he doesn't have the Autobot symbol here. He has a long sticker, like a like a circuitry panel across here. I got a picture, I'll put it right here. And in the other countries, he came in multiple colors. Someone said he actually got a red release in the United States, but I'm not sure about that. So I don't want to put that out there, but he may have gotten it. But I do know the IGA Mexican release of these figures, he actually has multiple colors with an Autobot symbol, but it's an IGA. I believe the stamping is different, and I'm not sure what the stamping is, but IGA released a lot of Transformers over there that came in a lot of different funny and not so good looking colors, some funky colors and some bad paint schemes, but that is a topic for another review that I will eventually get into. Okay, Transformers fans, let's size him up and run him down. Here he is with Generation 1 Sunstreaker. Here he is with Decepticon Enemy. Here he is with Autobot Stripes. Autobot Commander Optimus Prime, of course. And last but not least, here he is with Gold Soundwave. And so tell me, do you have this figure in your collection? Did you have it as a kid? And if you had it as a kid, did you use him for Bumblebee, or did you come up with a name? Did you even come up with Bumble Jumper? Because somebody came up with that name. It could be one of those things where, I forget what it's called, when everyone has the same idea at the same time, just because it makes sense. Like everyone called McDonald's Mickey D's, it's because it makes sense. But it could have been a whole community of kids that came up with Bumble Jumper, and man, I'm just mad that I didn't think of that. That is so cool for this guy. So did you have him as a kid? What's your Bumble Jumper story? Did you know his name was Bumble Jumper? Did you know he existed before you saw this review? And did you know he goes for over $100 on a secondhand market? Talk to me in the comments below. Get into. So that's all I got for Generation 1 Bumble Jumper in this sort of kind of bonus review. The most sought after Generation 1 Minibot of them all. I want to thank you for watching another episode of George Reviews. The reviews where every toy has a story.